stamp everything you people want. Okay, so we don't even know who our government is anymore. And what, the money printing class, that's our government? And you're just going to keep putting us in more and more debt forever? And we're just going to be all okay and be comfortable with kicking the can down the road to future generations? Not me. I'm not tolerating that. I'm not going along with that. And if anybody else wants to go along with that, that's their business. They'll stand before God one-on-one on their own, but they'll explain, future generation. Why didn't you stand up and say something? Why didn't you call for seizing the Federal Reserve? Why don't we do something to change this thing and get a hold of things and understand that, the idea of full prosperity in our society is extremely devastating economically. And as ridiculous as that sounds, like an oxymoron, I mean, what are you talking about? Ending poverty is going to devastate the economy? You see, it's an oxymoron. It's like, well, how could ending poverty, that means full prosperity, how could that devastate our economy? Because we've got all these societal ills that are etched in stone now. And if you start fixing problems, people are out of jobs. It's as simple as that. Look at how big is the social welfare system? All of it, all the branches too, all the people out there that are quasi-governmental. I mean, except because they're accepting subsidies, like the landlord industry. Okay, you're a quasi-governmental worker. So if you count all those social welfare beneficiaries out there, how many is that? That's a lot of people. And if you ended poverty, wouldn't those people be out of job? You see what I'm saying? The same with the prison industry, understanding that, I don't know, maybe 99% of all the crime is being committed because of financial desperation. So all those prison guards, all the courts and the judges and the attorneys and on and on, do you understand? All the law enforcement out there that would be adversely affected, they'd be out of work. They'd be extraneous, rendered irrelevant. Okay, if we ended poverty, okay, because the vast majority of crime would dry up overnight. The dubious war, they can't start it. Guys aren't going to march off to dubious war if their military is not the only ones in town hiring. Everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to serve. Nobody wants to be lazy and self-serving. We have an instinct to be decent, upright human beings. That's why I know a system of full prosperity would work. And in order, how are you going to prove me wrong? You can't. There's never been a time in history where society was allowed to be prosperous for any appreciable amount of time. They don't want you to realize that, yes, indeed, the only difference is that we serve each other with a bounce in our step and a song on our lips, okay? And joy in our heart, okay? That's the way we can serve each other, and that's what they don't want you to figure out. And if there's not enough work because of automation, the machines took my job, the immigrants took my job. I mean, give me a break. So what? You go to work, you get 2-hour work week, whatever it comes down to, it doesn't matter. That's tough. Be the artist. Go recreate. Go have fun. Enjoy your life. Do whatever you want to do. Any of us at any given time should be free to do that. And we could be free to do that if we just ended poverty. And basically, this is why I support Donald Trump. I believe that he's sincere, that he really gets it, and he's a really smart guy. I think he knows the forces he's up against. He knows this kind of stuff I'm talking about, that it's very disruptive. So what do? What's the answer? Well, we've got to make everybody feel secure. So the status quo, I mean, in all logic, how could the status quo worry that they're going to be out of work when their currency is worth so much, when they're also prosperous? This is the whole thing behind sound money, sound currency. Why guys like Rand Paul are so smart, who learned from his dad, Ron Paul, and Andrew Jackson was smart, and Abraham Lincoln was smart, John F. Kennedy was smart. They understand sound money and what a threat that is to the establishment, because slowly, gradually, incrementally, your currency is worth more. Do you understand? So how could the rich people even be threatened by that, or the status quo? And certainly the poor would rejoice. They'd say, oh my God, you're kidding me. My money is worth more. My housing dollars keep being worth more. My food dollars keep being worth more. All my dollars keep being worth more. I'm getting richer and richer and richer, and and my income's going down. My numbers are going down, but my wealth is going up. That could be the state of affairs for all of us. This is how it could happen, and they know that. And I believe Donald Trump's smart enough to know that too. This is what you call societal progress, civilization progress. This is why, industrialization was such a threat to the establishmentarians, these overlords. I'm talking about at the very top of this pyramid, the New World Order cabal and these globalists, these elitists, the royalty class, the blue bloods, all these hypocrites and liars and thieves and murderers, this gaggle of merciless thugs, really essentially, that are creating the policies we all have to live under. They don't want us free because they don't want to do a damn thing. They don't want to lift a finger. They just want to be big, fat, mooching leeches, sucking off the people and controlling everything, just like the devil. That's it. I don't care how I got it, but I got it. And they've got it because they're murderers. Because any decent person that stands up and tries to affect change in society and actually solve problems, they'll murder. They're under great threat of bodily harm. That's what they did to JFK. There's no way, some nut, this Oswald, okay, oh yeah, right. And he looked like such a hater that he had this vendetta against the president for what? I mean, it's stupid. The whole thing is stupid. It's so obvious JFK was getting rid of the Federal Reserve. Executive Order 11,110. Who the mainstream media never brings up anymore. But what happened? It vanished. Just because they murdered JFK, what happened to his executive order? Nobody asked the mainstream media. Crickets from these people. Okay, but I'm saying, what happened to executive order? Let's get that Federal Reserve, get the hell out of Dodge, okay? Take your money, but we're going to start a new money. We're going to federalize our currency. It's going to benefit we the people. Not we some of the people, we all the people. So, Federal Reserve, you put that in your pipe and smoke it. And anybody that wants to come out here and execute me for the things I talk about, because it is as radical as it gets. Even Alex Jones doesn't talk about more radical stuff than that. Okay? These people are murderers, I believe. That they're willing to do that, to keep their power in their place. It's this is great satanic power they have. You come out here, I'm at least 5-6 miles from the nearest town, another maybe 7 more up the other direction. The highway patrol be on your butt like flies on crap, okay? So good luck trying to get her. You can come out here and you can blow my brains out for the things I say, but you know what? You're not going to get away. You're going to get busted. And, here's a guy that doesn't even believe in capital punishment for, I'm saying the guy is going to commit first-degree murder on me. I'll try to be like Jesus right on the cross when he said, "Forgive them, Father, they don't know what they're doing." And anybody that would hate me to the point where they'd be willing for any amount of money to blow my brains out, I feel really sorry for you. You don't know what you're doing, okay? Because I know I have eternal life. Anybody that chooses it can have it. But you've got to be a friend to God, to your owner, okay? And that's the most beautiful thing in the whole world. And then we could go out and win more friends for him. This is treasure. This is storing treasure, is making friends, making friends for him so that they can be saved and live for an eternity in paradise. Not in this crap hole that's been conjured up for us, but in a beautiful, perfect world down to the smallest detail. And we all have the ability to imagine that world. Use that ability or lose that ability. One of InfoWars' new reporters, this guy Owen Schroyer, he was interviewing this guy that was a former Black Lives Matter dude, and he, one thing he said that I thought was very profound and very, very important, very succinct, was that relevant, was that we've got to address the socioeconomics of the hood. And that says it all right there, okay? And this is what Donald Trump is talking about. So, that's the most important thing to understand, is that it is about poverty. And people are tired of this imposition of poverty, and poverty is on the rise. The media is reporting Obama's at the UN blaspheming, saying that poverty has been in decline. He's such a liar that the wealth disparity is shrinking. He is such a liar, and I can point to empirical evidence, and I can point to scientific data to prove that he's a liar, that he's wrong. Poverty is exploding in America. They're trying to bring us down to a third world level. That's how they're going to level the playing field and make this huge, gigantic swath of people dirt poor and other people literally dying. It's a form of genocide on the people. Last week I mentioned that, America being the land of milk and honey. Well, it may not be technically the land of milk and honey, which of course is Israel, but it is a land of milk and honey, and who can argue that point? Is that this is a land of great riches, and the idea that we're going to tolerate abject poverty in a land of milk and honey, which I believe we are, of one of the 12 tribes of Israel here, like so many people believe. I think it's the land of the tribe of Ephraim, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, this is absurd that we would tolerate the kind of poverty we do in a land of milk and honey. More bombings since the New World Order cabal set ISIS free on the American public. Just remember this about the pond scum that's racing to the top. When it gets there, it's going to be exposed by light and air, and it's going to be destroyed. So that's a positive note to end this video on. Have a great day, great weekend, and we'll talk again sometime.